So welcome back. Well, it's hot out there, and I have
it's
my
110.
110, and if you know it's hot, you know your air conditioning is running. I have with me Solar Sandy, who has on a mission for everybody, especially if you are APS people. Listen up. Welcome back to the show, Sandy.
Thank you, Carol. And I was just thinking as I was driving of all the people that I've seen and helped. I literally am getting so busy right now because I am on a mission to help people save money off a bill that they're already spending money on, and it costs them nothing to do it. Let me clarify. If you've ever thought about going solar, now is the time, because you just went back to the APS summer rates May 1st, and those were high enough last year. This year, the summer rates are going to increase again July 1st, and it's very difficult. APS is giving out all kinds of inaccurate information because they don't want people getting very upset. They're stopping the equalizer. Instead of a 12-month average, they're cutting it down to a 3-month average, and the Arizona Corporation Commission has authorized them to raise the rates 7.96, 7.99. I just rounded up to 8%. And then there's an additional fee that's coming that most people don't understand. They switched the verbiage, the terminology, Carol. I've talked about mandatory demand fees before. Anybody who's been listening before, they've heard me talk about mandatory demand fees. Well, when they got to before the Arizona Corporation Commission, they thought they better soften that. So they're calling it optional demand fees. It's semantics. It's the exact same thing where the APS customer is going to be charged a fee at the time of day. An algorithm is going to figure out the hour of that month of when they're using the most amount of power, and there's going to be another fee attached to that. So not only is your power increasing, you're going to have a new fee on that left-hand side of the bill, and it's going to be called an optional demand fee. And these things can significantly impact people's bills. People can expect their bills to go up 50, 100 or more. Depending on how much power you're using, you are going to see significant increases. So what I'm doing, Carol, is I'm lowering people's power bill. They're not buying panels. They're not paying for the installation. They're not paying for the maintenance or the monitoring. They're getting the power the panels produce at a lower per kilowatt rate than APS. So that's how I call it no-cost solar. And this is on my website. There's lots of articles. There's lots of news clippings. It's been on the news. And people are going to hear more and more about it. Everybody has. And people are leaving things to the last minute. Although I've been talking about this for a long time, people don't leave this to the last minute, because this takes time. APS, if you are not in by July 1st and your paperwork stamped approved, you're not in the queue, you are not grandfathered in for the maximum savings that I can give you today. And then people are going to say, well, I should have done it, should have, could have. Oh, maybe it's not going up. It's going up.
Well, more than anything, you had also said that you can get them the most amount of savings now. So even if you do wait, the problem is that you're not going to get the most amount of savings. That's what you really want for them.
Exactly. I mean, when the rates go up in July, and then they go, gee, I should have called in, they can still have solar. They're not going to be grandfathered for 20 years, and the maximum savings that I can give them today are going to be lower.
You've been doing this for over 3 years. You got into it for a reason.
Oh, my gosh,
but
Carol.
more than anything, what I want to say too is that you really make sure that everyone has the amount of panels that they need plus, because a lot of people you've told me have said that, I had solar one time, I didn't even get
they've heard stories that their neighbors said, oh, well, I got solar, but I really wasn't saving. I still got a power bill from APS. That's because there's other people out there. I'm a retired nurse, Carol. When I used to go in to give medication, I didn't guess at the medication dosage. I had to be very, very accurate and specific about how much much medication, or you'd kill somebody. Now, I know this is your power, but I look at your power as just as important, and I take it very seriously because I helped my daughter when I couldn't help my daughter pay her bill, and I started researching this, and I found out that there was an option to lower her power bill, and it cost her nothing to do it, save her money off a bill she was already spending money on. I really dug in and researched it for my daughter and my grandchildren to make sure that it was done correctly. So I bring that to my consumers, my wise consumers that I go out and meet with. And Carol, I have a passion for it because I want to help everybody save money off a bill that they're already spending money on. APS does not need any more of your money. Believe you me, when you see the increases and what they're going to be increasing, the non-solar customers are going to pay $95 billion. It's not million, $1 billion over the next 20 years based on grid expansion and all these things that their accountants have put in front of the Arizona Corporation Commission. It gets passed on to the customer on the left-hand side of the bill. Yes, there's laws that regulate how much they can increase our power cost, but the fees, taxes, and surcharges and other things on that left-hand side of the bill, that is where they put these extra costs, and it's a part of them doing business as a corporation that's a for-profit corporation. They can do that because they can say this is a fee, this is a tax, this is a surcharge.
Now, tell them what it means when you say no-cost solar, exactly what they get, because you take care of everything, and that's what they need to know. What do they get for this?
I go out, I figure out how much power they need, how much they've used the last 12 months. If they haven't been in their house for 12 months, I'm able to use their square footage, and I'm basing it on a formula that is pretty darn accurate. We install the panels, we pay for the panels, the maintenance, the monitoring, we insure it, and we warranty it. So all my homeowner is doing is paying a lower price for the same exact power, and the power source is now on their roof versus APS's power source that goes up every year. This is not the last increase that's coming, folks. Year upon year upon year, your power is going to go up. And from the time my daughter lives in Hawaii, from the time that I lived in Hawaii and had moved away, and when my daughter's bill was well over $500, I asked her to send a copy of it. Her power had gone up 340%. And people go, oh, that can't be. It's absolutely fact. If she didn't have solar on her roof today, anybody can Google this, she would be paying 47 cents per kilowatt in Hawaii. And if anybody thinks that Arizona Corporation or APS is not going to go in that direction, you're sorely mistaken.
Now you love to go out around the valley and give everybody these $200 solar savings incentives. They're a thank you for working with her, and plus it's money in your pocket for a bill that you've been paying on that was too high.
At installation, if they qualify, they're going to get a $200 thank you from me to pay off their last APS bill. Gladly, I'm happy to thank them for that, Carol. And we're running out of time here. We're running out of time. July is right around the corner. It takes time to get the panels up, get the approvals, get everything done. We do all the permitting, HOA approvals, and all the details that are involved. But APS and the city inspector, they're not adding any more people on because they don't want you saving any money. They want you buying their kilowatts at their highest rates.
So this is a no obligation consultation. It's free. She comes to you, and if you are qualified, and most people are, she said, it's a $200 solar savings incentive that you're going to get. She wants you to call in here so you can get connected with her. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You can also check her out on her website. There's a ton of information there. It is AskSolarSandy.com, and they subscribe, and what happens?
They subscribe, they put their name, their address, their phone number in, and then when I'm off the air, either later on today or most likely tomorrow, because most people are out on Fridays, I call them back and set up a time for their solar saving consultation. And then I go out and meet with them, Carol, and things are starting to get very, very busy. People that I might have seen a month or two, they didn't make a decision that day. They're all starting to call me back. So if you're sitting on the fence about this, don't. Let's get you seeing how much you're saving. Doesn't matter how little or how much power you're using. Call to set up your solar saving proposal.
It's Cinco de Mayo and it's hot, and you know that your air conditionings are on, and we all hate those high bills. So if you're an APS person, APS, just please call in. She wants to help you. She's passionate about this. The number to call here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100, or go to AskSolarSandy.com. So welcome back, everyone. And we are talking with Solar Sandy. And yes, a lot of people have heard her, but a lot of people have been on the fence and they haven't made that. There are other procrastinators out there. We've talked a lot about the people
Carol,
like that.
I've met with so many people in the last month or so, and some people have heard me 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And I'm just saying to everybody, this is it, folks. If you don't have the reservation in with APS, you're going to kick yourself, because you're looked at as a current customer with APS, and you're going to get the maximum savings and the benefits. And July 1st, when those rates go up and they hit your bill August, and you're going to go, oh gosh, she was telling the truth. I have no reason to scare people.
Well, here's the thing. I think that's what it is. A lot of people might think it's a scare tactic. It's not.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form. These are things that everybody's seeing. If you've been if watched the news at all, you are seeing this no-cost solar. It's not about that. What she is, it's what I think more than anything is you're so passionate about helping people, and that's why when you came on the show, you were so excited about it, and you were able to reach out to so many people out there this way.
It's on my daughter's house, and I know what it did for her, and that's how I started sharing with people. I didn't work for the company. I just started sharing what had worked for her. And then I thought, I had people tell me, I've talked to solar people before, and they didn't explain it as simply as you do. They didn't have my best interest at heart. They were trying to sell me panels. I just met with a couple last night. They said exactly that 3 years ago. Somebody was trying to sell them panels. And I can do that too, but I don't recommend it to hardly anybody. There's a few instances that I might, but most of the time I don't. And there's some very good reasons, because the panels give you absolute everything that you need to cover your power. They're maintained, monitored. There's guarantees and assurances that you don't have to worry about anything.
And you say that you can cut somebody's bill in half or then some.
Their highest bill. So there's summer bills that are $300, $400, $500. I can cut them in half. If they're on the equalizer, if they're paying $300, their bills are $600. So I'm able to bring that bill down halfway and then some. And that's giving them a smidge more power so that they can keep their house cooler rather than hotter. The only way people's bills this year, after July 1st, are going to stay the same, and they were horrible last summer. I know, I saw people's bills, and they said, we can't pay these anymore. The only way that they're going to have the same cost, the same power bill as they did last year, is turning their thermostat up higher. So if they were keeping their house at 82, now they've got to keep it at 85, 87. If they were keeping their house at 85, now they've got to keep it at 90, 92, because the cost of the power is going up. And then on top of that, there's another demand fee, optional, because I have to correct myself. I have to be very careful that I'm giving accurate information correctly to my listeners.
Well, we have a caller. I'm going to see if we have enough time to ask a question. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have with us Lori. You're on the line. What's your question? Lori, you're on the line. Yes, what's your question?
Oh?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I didn't have a question. I wanted to see if I could set up a consultation.
Okay, we'll get you connected with her. All you have to do is just hold on tight. We'll get you connected. That's fine.
Thanks, Lori.
That's okay. You know what? So here's the thing, okay? Right now, what we're trying to do is you've been coming on because you want to help everybody out there. You have helped a lot of people out there. You go out there and you are so excited about this because you get to help these people that are Some of them, quite of them are much older, right?
Some of them are. I mean, I see people that are young, middle-aged, and older.
Older people that can't afford.
Everybody needs to not be paying these high electric bills. And this increase is not just this year. It doesn't just go up once and then it doesn't go up again. What they are passing through and what they've already, Arizona Corporation Commission has already received. And here's the thing, Carol. When people call into APS says, oh, no, that hasn't been passed. Right on their website, it says they expect these rates to take effect as of July 1st. That is their disclaimer notifying you that their rates have gone up. They've just changed the billing for APS.
And it's in the envelope. It's not, and not many people read it anyway.
Exactly.
You know.
They sent letters out in March talking about the changes in the equal pay, all these different things to prepare for this increase that's coming. And most people have their APS on auto pay. So when this hits their account and this increase hits them in August, because the power you use in July gets billed in August, their budgets are going to be severely affected.
One of the things that I think when I listen to you is, why wouldn't anyone want to just have the consultation? It's free. There's no law obligation.
Exactly.
All you're going to do is find out how much money she can save you. If you're not happy with what she can save you, then you don't have to do it.
Exactly.
If you're happy, and most people are, they actually hug you, you tell me.
I'm telling you, I've made some wonderful connections with people, Carol. I love what I do. I believe in what I do. My daughter has it on her home. I have it on mine. So I'm a believer because I don't just talk about it. You know, I walk the talk and talk the talk and walk the walk. And it's, I like knowing how much I'm paying for my power this year and the next 20 years.
20 years that people will know. We have our lines open here, and you can call throughout the rest of the show. She wants to get everyone grandfathered in now. That's why she's here.
Absolutely.
Please call in. Don't wait. 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You're going to get that $200 solar savings incentive. All you have to do is qualify, and most people do. You can check out all of these things that she's talking about on her website. There's tons of information
I
there.
just uploaded a bunch of information, the December 21st, 2016 ruling on the net metering that's changing. This is why I'm wanting everybody to get grandfathered in now rather than later, because if they don't do it now and APS has a backlog of paperwork, they will not get in the queue and they will not get net metered for the 20 years grandfathering period. And that is significant, Carol. I can't go into all the details because it's a little bit overwhelming, but it's, again, the maximum savings and the maximum benefit to my prospective customers is now. I get that paperwork in, I get it, the reservation made, and then if it takes a time or two for me to go back to my consumers to make sure that all their questions are answered, my number one thing is I have a passion about educating people and really knowing my stuff. Like when I was a nurse, I had to study and I had to pass exams, and then I had to get licensed to become a nurse. I feel that kind of passion for what I'm doing. No, it's not nursing, but this is just as important because I can affect people's lives and being able to help them save money on a bill that they're already spending money on, so that they can not have to take money out of their 401k or, have to not pay another bill to pay their power bill. And our summers last July, August, September, October, I know that we were still running our air last November. So it's not just a 2-month that we have these high bills. And this year, those bills are going up, people. That algorithm that's going to figure out when you're using the most amount of power in the peak time, you're going to have another fee tacked onto that left-hand side of the bill. When you go solar, all those fees, taxes, and surcharges are gone because you're no longer buying their power. So I'm saving you on the price of the kilowatts and also on those fees, taxes, and surcharges that are kind of sneaky.
Well, you can check her out. It's AskSolarSandy.com, or you can call in here. We want everyone to get connected with her. That's what she likes you to do. It's 602-277-5369, and toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And you're going to get the $200 solar savings incentive representative from her. She'll come out. She'll do the consultation with you. That's free. It's no obligation. And if you qualify, you get that money to pay for the bill that you had last month.
Yeah, exactly. And I just was thinking about another person I went and saw. She was referred to one of your listeners who doesn't live in APS, and she thought of this older couple, and I went out and saw them, and I'm telling you, their bills were $570 in the summertime, and I got her bill down to under $2.
Wow. You know what? You had a friend of mine that you had. We talk a little bit about it. I mean, I'm excited. I can't wait for her to get it because I know firsthand. Then exactly,
Absolutely.
But I was just thinking here too, Sandy, that these people who are with APS right now, you're lucky. You're lucky that she's out here talking to you and telling you what she can save. Because if you're with SRP right now,
you have to wait.
And so right now, she's really able to save all of you people with your APS. If you know someone like me, I knew someone. I asked her how much, if she knew if she was with APS or not. She found out, and you got to help her. Go ahead. We have 1 minute.
Carol, here's the thing. The people in SRP that waited and sat on the fence and that said, oh, we can do this anytime we want. 3.5 years ago, that option was taken away from them because of the way SRP bills and demand fees and all the rest of it. They shut solar down. Now, I'm coming back with a program in the summertime after I'm finished with all my APS people. But I'm telling you, APS people, you don't know how good you have it right now until it's gone. And once June 15th comes along, if you're not in that queue and you're not grandfathered in, you're going to regret it. You're just not going to be happy when you see what those bills are.
Again, it's a no obligation. She's valley-wide. She comes to you, and it's free. You're going to find out how much money she can save you on a bill that you're already paying money on. So give us a call here at 602-277-5369.